How do you think school played an impact on your life decisions?
Very little, to be fair. I mean, school overall isn't built for entrepreneurs or business owners. It's built for employees. Okay, we learn nothing as entrepreneurs that we need to learn in order to be able to be a success as we have been in the industry, to go and do. So school, I mean, played zero impact really on my life decisions. I think it just shown true characteristics really of kind of what it would take for me to kind of make it bigger on my own. I wasn't very academic. I didn't do very well in school. I just kind of, fucked about, didn't really do much, to be fair. But that's okay, because my life decision that's then happened past the academia stage is I'm happy with that. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of got to be a little bit grateful at the same time to turn around and say, well, if maybe school wasn't like that, then, would my life be completely different now? Would I have gone down a different route? Who knows?
Well, school teaches the complete opposite to the traits you need to be successful as an entrepreneur. I mean, in life, you take a test and learn a lesson. In school, you learn a lesson and take a test.
Yep, absolutely. And they say you don't copy people in school.
Yeah.
All your answers need to be original. It needs to be you.
Mm-hmm. No teamwork.
Yeah, exactly. In business, that's all we do. You copy people.
Yeah.
Okay, and you build
Modify,
them. Exactly. You look at your competitor and say, well, what is it that they're doing? Well, they're making 5 million a year. Okay, cool. I'll copy their blueprint. I'll replicate it. I'll use their procedures, their model, etc. to go in. That's how you do it. You just understand what that business isn't doing so well and how you can do it in yours, so you can kind of dominate them when you come to market. That's all it is. Obviously there's a lot more to it, but that's the principle really, isn't it? I mean, success leaves clues. If they're successful, there's clues there. Copy them, replicate. Jobs are good at. Where in school, you have none of that. So you have to reprogram yourself a little bit.
Do you think financial literacy should be taught in schools?
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. I mean, there's a reason why it's not taught in schools. They don't want us to go and learn about these things, because as soon as we do, it opens up a whole different world, because that's what the business side of it is. It is genuinely a whole different world.
Well, that's what it is. The economy is a business at the end of it.
It is.
And the people at the top, they don't want loads of competition, do they? They just want people programmed to go and do a job, be content, be happy with what you've got, and that's it. And then I suppose that's what school teaches.
Yeah, absolutely. It just teaches you to follow that. And, you'll go to school, then you'll go to university, get yourself in loads and loads of debt. Then the next best thing is to buy a house, loads more debt. And before you know it, you're just working all the way to retirement in a house that you're still paying off, in uni fees that you're still paying off. You're still paying off all your car loans because they tell you that that's okay, but they're liabilities. Do you know what I mean? So it's completely different to anything that you would genuinely go to school and learn about. But financial literacy should 1,000,000% be taught in schools, because everybody can then have an insight into, how to actually use and increase their own money. And more importantly, give them access to, different fields really, that they might not have had access to at the beginning.
Why do you think it's not taught in school?
For that reason, they don't want us to learn it. Because if you learn it and your financial thermostat is now changed, and you think, right, well, actually, no, I can see the route to 1 million. I can see the route to 5, whatever it is that your goal is. So why wouldn't you go for that? And if you do go for that, then we're just going to end up with more business owners, and there's going to be not enough workers within the UK to fuel the economy. That's exactly why it's not taught.
Amazing. I mean, what is it you were doing before you ventured into business?
I did a couple of things really. So after I left school, I was a personal trainer. So I was a personal trainer for a number of years. And then I kind of got bored, really.
What did that teach you about business?
You know what? It actually did teach me a lot indirectly. I didn't realise I was actually learning it, because obviously I was having to go out and find my own customers, do the finances, the marketing, the sales appointments, then the actual training, which is the operations to the business. So indirectly, I was running my own business without me even really knowing, because in my head, I just thought, I'm a personal trainer. I've got a new client, cool, in the gym, off we go. 3 months down the line, they've lost the weight. Do you know what I mean? So
what would you do differently if you went into that industry now?
A lot. I would do so much more. So if I went back into it, the first thing that I'd be looking to do would be to systemize the personal training side of things, to be online. Online is absolutely massive within the training industry now. And ideally, I'd want to try and look to see, okay, well, which is your higher end gyms, so your David Lloyds, your Hiltons, etc. And I'd be looking to employ a personal trainer within each one of them facilities. Obviously, if there's a high demand in, say, David Lloyd's Nottingham, then you'd look to then scale that site up, to be fair, to start coming through. The marketing, I'd have done so much more marketing and much better now that I fully understand, how it actually works and how much of a big part it is within your company. I'd have just streamlined the whole process, and it wouldn't have even took me long knowing what I know now. But back then, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know I had a business. I genuinely didn't know. But then
just thought it was part of the job.
Literally just thought I'd do the job, yeah. So it did teach me a lot, but I then decided that I wanted to get out of the personal training side of things, so I went into recruitment. I worked in recruitment again for a number of years, which taught me so much, because I was speaking to people on the phones all day, every day, from the moment I got into the moment I left. It was just communication. So it taught me the art of communicating. And the biggest one was the sales aspect.
Yep.
To go on to, and it's helped me loads, because looking at what we're doing now, if I didn't have had that sales role beforehand, then my abilities might be a lot less. Do you know what I mean? So it's played a massive part of it. But I was in the world of corporate. So it opened my eyes up to go from from leisure to corporate was a massive jump in getting used to it. But it's taught me how, a company within that sector is properly run. And you can see it. You know exactly how to do it. You can see how it's run. So that recruitment out of all of them probably taught me the most skills that I use to this day.
How important is sales as a business owner? How important is that skill to have? The most important skill to have. If you've got no sales team, or you can't do sales, then how are you looking to get income as a business? Yeah.
Sales is your money in. That's exactly what you need as a business. It's the most important thing. The sales need to be there. And as a business owner, if you don't know how to sell yourself, how can you expect a team to learn from you as their leader? What precedent are you setting in and around that? So to learn sales as a skill, I think everybody should know how to sell. Because we sell ourselves indirectly. We sell ourselves, we'll sell, bits and bobs. For example, if someone's, as an example, turn around and say, right, okay, well, who wants to come to the football this weekend? I've only got 5 tickets, but there's 10 people in that group chat. Okay, well, you've then got to sell yourself to why you want one of them tickets. Do you know what I mean? Just as a normal everyday example. So we do it, but we need to know how to enhance it. We know how to take it to the moon and actually start using it to make money. Because if you learn sales, you can do anything. If you've got sales on your CV, most companies will take you. This is a massive skill to have.
Great answer. I mean, what actually inspired you to even go into business?
Good question. So very similar to what it is that you've turned around and said. For me, I knew, especially going through the school process, I knew that, okay, well, I'm not like any of these. I'm a bit different. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm a bit different. Mainly because I was probably an arsehole, to be fair. But I was a little bit different, okay? And then I kind of got into working. It was when I was in recruitment and I was sat there. I thought, I can't do this. I actually can't do this for the rest of my life. And there was something that kind of just switched. And it was like, okay, I was clearly meant to be doing something else. I clearly wasn't meant to ever be sat behind a desk for the rest of my life until I retired. But for me, it was, again, having that higher life. I didn't want to be, average. I wanted to be something, more. Do you know what I mean? Especially when you're going about and you're seeing Lamborghinis and Ferraris driving by you, it pissed me off. Because it's like, okay, I can't even compute right now how to get to that. How I can even get to the stage where I could go and buy one of them. Where now I can do. Do you know what I mean? I understand exactly how I can go and get one if I wanted one, to go and execute that. But yeah, inspired me to go into business. It was the different life. I wanted that financial security. I wanted to make sure that, I can give my family what it is that they want. The goal is to retire them ideally. So yeah, it was kind of not just for me that kind of inspired me. It was for the greatness of good that I could do with a large amount of money.
Amazing.
They say, don't they? They say when you've got money, it shows your true character. So you're either a good person or you're a bad person. But you won't really know that. Yeah, it does.
That's what it does.
It does. So if you see the people that are in restaurants that have got loads of money and they'll think they can be rude to everyone, but that's just brought their true person out. Where if you're in there and you're polite, you're respectful, it doesn't matter how much money you've got. Everyone's human. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everyone deserves respect at the absolute minimum, regardless of if you think you're sat on a platter. But yeah, I'd say that's what inspired me genuinely.
Amazing. I mean, can you walk us through your business journey so far? I mean, what are some of the key milestones and challenges that I know you faced along the way?
Yeah, so business journey. So the first thing I did, I went into e-com. Now, got all of that all up and running, and somehow, I didn't do anything with it, which was, I don't really know, it was a bit stupid, really. And then we fell into property. Literally did fall into it, really. It was kind of an accident that we even ended up having a property company. We had that split between the letting agency, the deal selling company, and our holdings, which was primarily rent to rent. So at the peak, there was 65 tenants, and then we had obviously service accommodation units across the board as well, and then the deal selling company and the agency that was just kind of ticking along. Then we decided to group them together and sell them for a nice little fee on the 1st of August last year. And then we was kind of sat there going, well, what next? And then trade property happened, One of our mentors, Joseph Valente, he approached us and turned around and said, right, lads, I've seen what you've been doing. I've seen, you clearly know what's going on. I'd like to kind of offer you an opportunity. So we came in as business partners and we launched Trade Property. There's a few other things in regards to what it is that we're doing on a side note, which I won't mention today. But yeah, in regards to what it is I've been doing through business, that's it. In regards to like the key milestones and stuff, I mean, the first year, I'll start with challenges actually. The first year was tough. Okay, and so was the second. Really, it was really, really hard. But I firmly believe that God's put that there for a reason.
100%.
To test you, to see genuinely how strong you are, and if you have got what it takes to actually make it. In this space. So for us, we kind of powered through that. As you mentioned earlier, entrepreneurs are born problem solvers. If you give me a problem, I can guarantee you I can solve it. It's just who we are. Do you know what I mean? We've built to do that. But the challenge is, it's not for the faint-hearted to go into launching your own business because it's very difficult. It's not an easy thing to do at all. You're going to have problems that you didn't even know existed. And if you've not got what it takes to fix them and get through them, then you're going to kind of fail at the first hurdle. And that's why I think a lot of businesses do. They kind of go into it thinking it's going to be an easy ride, and it's not that. They'll go, fucking hell, fuck this, I ain't doing this, I'll go back to my job because it's easier, and people get contempt. And it isn't for the faint-hearted, but I believe that's why 80% of businesses fail in the first 12 months, where with us, we did $250,000 in our first 12 months, and then doubled it. So, for us, it was like, we got past that, but I do genuinely believe that that's meant to happen for a reason. If you go down that life of trying to pioneer something or be different to everybody else, God's going to put things in there to test you, my man. Do you know what I mean? He's going to say, right, well, have you got what it takes to even do it? And if you pass them tests, off you go. You see the rewards.
Amazing. I'm just going to go back to a point there. You said that God's put these challenges in front of you. How do you believe being faithful has helped you throughout your entrepreneurial journey?
Wow, what a question. Massive. To be fair, I was Christian when I was younger, and it was something you just kind of just brushed off growing up. You knew you were, but it was something you didn't really practice, etc. But since going into the entrepreneurial life, I know you have as well. You've kind of it brings you a bit closer together, having that bit of faith. But more importantly, because you can see it. You can actually see what's happening and why it's happening. And it's because of a higher power. And being faithful, I believe, has genuinely helped us through some massive hurdles and challenges that even to this day we're a bit gobsmacked that we managed to even overcome. Do you know what I mean? So there's a reason why, and the reason isn't me and you. We're not some next level.
Two normal people.
We're just two normal people, but we incurred the problems that everybody else did. So me having that faith, I genuinely believe, has played a massive part to how we got through the challenges.
Amazing. It's a weird one because you speak to a lot of successful people and they all seem to be faithful. They all seem to be faithful. I mean, I don't know one person. I personally don't know one rich atheist.
I don't either.
I don't. I've never spoken. I know they're
Imagine they're out there, yeah, but I don't know one. All of the millionaires and billionaires that we talk to, we hang around with, all believers. They've all got that believer in their God.
You, doesn't it?
It does.
It's an empowerment that atheists can't get at the end of the day.
It does.
So
no, you're absolutely right.
If it's going to empower you to succeed even more and drive you to success, it's definitely something that I'll be looking to.
Oh yeah, you've got to be open to it. Do you know what I mean? You have to open your mind up to it, because if you don't, then what's the point? Do you know what I mean? You could have something there, and all it takes is you to go, I believe.